by the golden moon Sriman Mahaprabhu to deliver the masses by the wide distribution of Lord Krishna's holy names. One evening, Lord Nityananda encountered those two drunken and sinful brothers, Jagai and Madai, who were previously Brahmin Deutsche demons of the first order, acting under the devastating spell of Kali Yuga. Suddenly, Nitai was attacked by Madai, whereupon his body became smeared with blood. In response, Lord Nitai exhibited deep affection for the welfare of the two brothers and rescued them from their abominable condition. Let us eternally worship that great personality, Sri Nityananda Chandra, who freely grants the association of Sri Gauranga Dev, who is none other than Lord Krishna. Sakshat Gora Gananam Shirasi Jad Avadutasya Kopina Kandam Samdartam Chadi Deshasava Javana Vadhu Sprishta Drishtopi Vandyaha Brahmadyanam Apiti Prabhu Paririta Kanam Api Shveshta Pitaha Sri Nityananda Chandra Bhaja Bhaja Satatam Gaura Krishna Pradamtam. Lord Gauranga instructed his family members and followers to wear pieces of Lord Nityananda's kopin respectfully on their bodies. So pure and impeccable is the character of Nitai that even if he is seen holding the hand of the Vajavana's wife and carrying a bottle of wine, nonetheless, he remains supremely worshipable by the great demigods such as Lord Brahma. Lord Nityananda is also the desirable object of those exalted devotees who can steal away the heart of the Lord. Let us eternally worship that great personality, Sri Nityananda Chandra, who freely grants the association of Sri Gauranga Dev, who is none other than Lord Krishna. Hudaratam Jnana Karmadi Apahata Charitan Gaura Chandro Jadaso Nyasam Kritva Tu Maya Mriga Manu Sritatvam Grahayam Krishna Nam Tach Chaye Vadavat Stala Jala Gahane Yopi Tasyesa Chestaha Sri Nityananda Chandra Bhaja Bhaja Satatam Gaura Krishna Pradamtam. Accepting the renounced order of life and distributing the Lord's holy names, Lord Gauranga chased after those souls who had been spoiled by the doctrines of dry argumentative logic and motivated fruitive activity. Like Lord Gauranga's own shadow, Nitai Prabhu accompanied the Lord over land and through rivers, waterways and jungles. In addition, Lord Nityananda is the desired goal of all Gauranga's endeavors. Let us eternally worship that grand personality, Sri Nityananda Chandra, who can freely grant the association of that golden Lord Sri Gauranga Dev, who is none other than Lord Krishna. Shri Radha Prema Lubdho Divasa Nishi Tadashwada Mataiko Lilo Gaura Jan Chadidesha Swapira Parikara Vritam Krishna Nama Pradatam Gode Badam Dadoja Sabagana Dhanam Gaura Nama Prakamam Sri Nityananda Chandra Bhaja Bhaja Satatam Gaura Krishna Pradamtam. Day and night, Lord Chaitanya was intoxicated with the intense desire to taste the sweetness of Sri Radhika's divine love for Krishna. Sriman Mahaprabhu instructed Lord Nityananda and his associates to go out and profusely distribute the holy names of Lord Krishna. However, Lord Nityananda instead plentifully distributed Lord Gauranga's name, the most precious fortune available to the living entities, with no impediment at all. Let us worship that great personality, Sri Nityananda Chandra, who freely grants the association of Sri Gauranga Dev, who is none other than Lord Krishna. Sri Radha Krishna Leela Rasa Madura Shuddha Swada Sudhaika Murto Gore Shradham Tridambo Prabhu Porikara Samrat Prayachadamani Shmin Ulangayam Grihim Yahi Jasyakila Bhajana Katha Swapnavach Chaiva Mitya Srinan Nityananda Chandram Patita Sharandam Gauradam Tam Bhajeham. O Nityananda Prabhu, Emperor amidst the personal associates of Sriman Mahaprabhu, kindly grant this fallen soul deep and resolute faith in that pure and divine figure of Sri Gauranga. Lord Gauranga's personality exclusively embodies the sweet nectar relished deep within the devotional mellows of Sri Sri Radha Krishna's pastimes. But if your lotus feet are overlooked, then all so-called devotional orations and prayers meant for the highest worship become false. Like a dream, I worship you, that great personality Nityananda Chandra, who openly bestows shelter to the most fallen souls, freely granting the association of Sri Gauranga Day. Jai Sriman Mahaprabhu, Ki Jai, Jai Sri Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai. Hare Krishna. So, Hare Krishna. So today is the most holy Advent day of Sri Nityananda Prabhu. And we are broadcasting our class from the East London branch, Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math, London chapter, to all those good souls who can join with us either here in the temple or online, or who may want to want to view this talk later on. We offer our obeisances to you all, and we try to invoke the mercy of Lord Nityananda Prabhu on this most holy day. Nityananda Prabhu, of course, is Balaram, non-different with Lord Balaram, manifesting in the Leela of Sri Chaitanya Day. If there is any difference between Balaram and Nityananda Prabhu, it is that Nityananda Prabhu is over-flooded with the mood of Audarja, or distribution, compassionate distribution of Sri Krishna Prema, which is the religion of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, meant for especially for this Kali age. It is told that in previous ages, different kinds of methods for self-realization. In Satya Yuga, which is considered to be the golden age of man, there people live for thousands of years, if you can conceive it. And in the Satya Yuga, there is no marriage. Everyone is concentrated only on spiritual attainment. Then people living for a long time, but they're giving their time to meditation, and mainly abstract meditation on Brahman. Somebody asked Guru Maharaj that question once. Oh, they say that there will be a golden age within this Kali age after the appearance of Mahaprabhu. And Guru Maharaj said, what do you think that means? Do you think that means, like we'll all be dancing down the street and traveling in flowered airplanes and, like all of that? He said, no. He said, we have a saying in Bengal that the rainy day isn't the bad day, but the day when we can't hear something about Krishna, that is the bad day. So although Satya Yuga, by material calculation, is considered to be, the best time of universe, if you like. It is not the time that people are practicing Krishna consciousness. Guru Maharaj said, do you think everyone was Krishna conscious in Satya Yuga? And the devotee replied, well, yeah, that's what I thought, yeah. Guru Maharaj said, no, their meditation was on abstract Brahman, not on Krishna. Maybe few on Krishna, of course, but in general, not that. So that was the process of self-realization in the Golden Age, or the Satya Yuga. And after Satya Yuga, there was Treta Yuga. And in Treta Yuga, the method of worship was sacrifice. And there were many kinds of sacrifice there at that time. Ashwamedha, Gomedha, Rajasuya, so many different kinds of sacrifice. But that type of sacrifice that is forbidden in Kali Age. One of the 4 things that is forbidden in Kali Age, one is animal sacrifice. Because in previous ages, when the animal would enter into the fire, the animal would not die, but the animal would come out of the fire with a rejuvenated body. Old animal, old cow or horse or whatever the sacrifice was, go into the fire, and by the power of the mantra of the Purajit, the priest, and the Brahmins performing that sacrifice, the animal would come out with a new body, rejuvenated body. There's no question of killing of any animal there. But in this age, that is totally impossible. Even in recent times, any Brahmin worth his salt can light the fire by mantra. Doesn't need a lighter or a box of matches. He can tell the mantra and fire will ignite. If you find any Brahmin, maybe there are some still in India who can do that, they will be like considered like a god that can do such a thing. Just that. But that was just like basic. You know, to be a Brahmin, that was like the first lesson, how to light the fire. But in this age, no one can do that. So what to speak of a sacrifice? Not possible in this age. Then in Dwapara Yuga, temple worship was the method of self-realization. The establishment of great temples and lavish worship. And that worship required huge amounts of wealth. That everything will be like pure gold. So if you offer a flower to Krishna, that will be on a plate made of pure gold. And you will offer that to Krishna, and then that plate will be disposed of. They won't wash it and use it again. Once. So can you imagine? Just for a week of that type of worship. And this is every article. Solid gold. Like 24 karat gold, or whatever the highest type of gold is. And once. Only use once. That is impossible to imagine that kind of wealth to perform that kind of worship in this age. And so those 3 ages, that type of worship, not possible. But in Kali age, in this Kali Yuga, although it is considered to be an ocean of inauspiciousness, it is called the Iron Age, the age of quarrel and hypocrisy, where everything is upside down, where good is considered bad, where bad is considered good, where religion is considered to be fake, and fakery is considered to be religion, and so many things. Everything is upside down. We see that right in the lexicon of the people. If they want to say something's really good, they say, "Oh, that's really bad, man. That's really wicked." That's, they use the opposite expression, isn't it? I mean, it's just a symptom of that. And everyone is short-lived. If you live to be 100, you'll get a telegram from the Queen to congratulate you. And most people don't even make it that long. Then how will you practice meditation in your life? Like 1/3 of your life, you'll be asleep in your bed. Another 1/3 of your life, you'll be at work trying to keep a roof over your head. And the rest of the time, you will be taken up with, doing your laundry or eating or all of these things. Where will you find any time to practice spiritual life in Kali Yuga? And people are thinking, I saw recently, they said in the, habits of successful people. And it said one of the things that successful people do is meditation. Okay, all right, that sounds good, fair enough. And they'd say, and how much meditation? What's the optimum amount of meditation per day for a successful person? 7 minutes a day. This is what they said, 7 minutes a day. So there you go. Can do it in 7 minutes a day. If only it were so. If we find that we can chant Krishna Nam for 2 hours, we think we're doing really well. So then what will you do in this age of quarrel? And everyone is fighting with everyone, and everyone's a hypocrite, isn't it? Every politician is a liar. Our Prime Minister is one of the biggest liars. He made his living as a liar. He got sacked when he was a writer for the Observer newspaper. He got sacked for making up stories. And he was being interviewed by some school children recently, and the little girl said, "Have you ever lied in your political life?" He said, "No, never." And he laughed and everyone laughed. Everybody that was there laughed, because they know that everything he says practically is a lie. Anyway, that's the age that we live in. And people, not only are they liars, they're also hypocrites. Say one thing and do another thing. Do the opposite of that. When the door's closed, when the blinds are pulled, the opposite of what they tell you should be doing, they're doing that. Now, this is Kali Yuga. And so it is considered to be an ocean of faults. But the one great thing in Kali Yuga, that is the chanting of the holy name of Krishna. The chanting of the holy name of Krishna is the Yuga Dharma for this age. The process for self-realization in Kali Yuga is Nama Sankirtan. And the giver of Nama Sankirtan is Sri Chaitanya Dev. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Krishna himself, has come to distribute this. Rupa Goswami says, Namo Mahabhadanaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaura Trise Namaha. Bow down to you because you are Mahabhadanaya, you are the most magnanimous of all incarnations, because you are giving what no other incarnation of the Lord has ever given. Even Krishna himself did not give prema to the people. He showed his pastimes, but in a closed group. And that was recorded in Srimad Bhagavatam. But it is not widely known. But Mahaprabhu Chaitanya Dev, when he came to freely distribute that to everyone. Prema Dharma. Krishna Prema is the goal of life. And he came to distribute that to one and all. So, in that regard, this Kali age is the best age of all ages, better than Satya Yuga. And it is said that the gods in heaven aspire to take birth in this Kali Yuga so they can take part, they can take advantage of Sri Chaitanya Dev's religion of love. And Mahaprabhu, who is Krishna himself, not an avatar of Krishna, he is the avatari. He is Krishna himself, Nanda Nandana, covered by the heart and halo of Srimati Radharani. He is Shama Sundar, but by the embrace of Srimati Radharani, he has become Gaura Sundar, not an avatar, avatari. He is Krishna himself, the original Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he has come to give what no other avatar has ever given before. Krishna Prema, Prema Dharma, the religion of love. And he does not require that you have any qualification except that you want it. You want it, you can have it. Doesn't matter how terrible a sinner you are. It doesn't matter where you were born, what your heritage, your qualification, your disqualification. None of those things matter to him. You want it, take it. And those who don't want it, those who say, no, I don't want it, get away from me, then Nityananda Prabhu is there. And this is Nityananda Prabhu's function, you can say. Those who do not want Krishna consciousness, and really that's everyone. You ask and stop someone in the street and say, would you like some Krishna consciousness? They'll say, get away from me, you crazy person. Nityananda Prabhu will not accept. No, you must have that. You must take it. You must take Krishna Prema. You must embrace the lotus feet of Lord Gauranga. So this is Nityananda Prabhu. Even those that Mahaprabhu will not accept, he accepts. And brings them to the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is Nityananda Prabhu, the most merciful of all. He is Baladev himself in the distributing mood. And Baladev means Guru. Guru is the general representative of Baladev. Why? Because Baladev arranges everything for the satisfaction of Krishna in Vrindavan. And so Baladev also comes as Nityananda Prabhu, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Krishna comes as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so Baladev comes as Nityananda Prabhu. And Nityananda Prabhu appeared in Ekachakradam. Ekachakradam is famous in the scripture. It is mentioned in Mahabharata. When the Pandavas fled from the house of Lak and went into hiding, there they stayed in Ekachakra. In Ekachakra, or Ekatirtha, it's also known as. That's where they stayed. And Nityananda Prabhu appeared in that village. That village is in Goramandala, and a very beautiful place. We have a very beautiful temple there, built by Srila Acharya Maharaj, very beautiful temple of Nityananda Prabhu. And there, big deity of Gaurnitai, life-size deity of Gaurnitai. They're like 7 feet tall, both, and so beautiful, very beautiful. And that temple was by the desire of Srila Govinda Maharaj in his lifetime, in his last days. But he never went there. The devotees wanted to take him there. When they had the opening ceremony of that temple, Acharya Maharaj arranged to take Gurudev there by helicopter. But Gurudev wouldn't go. But helicopter was there standing by to take Maharaj from Calcutta but Gurudev didn't go. But he watched everything on his laptop. Someone gave him a laptop and he's watching like everything being filmed for him while he was there. And really very beautiful. And now Ekachakra is known as Birachandrapur by the local people. That place has now become known as Birachandrapur. Birachandra is the son of Nityananda Prabhu. And because of his extensive preaching, that Ekachakra now is known as Birachandrapur. And so then his birthplace is there, Nityananda Prabhu. And he was born there. His mother name was Padmavati, and his father Hadai Pandit. And they were great devotees, great Vaisnavas. And Nityananda Prabhu was their life, the very life of their life, when they saw him growing as a young boy, as a child. And he's playing with his playmates there, but his play is an ordinary play. His play is always Krishna Lila. He's always playing Krishna Lila. And any kind of Krishna Lila. And one time we read, or we heard from Guru Maharaj, one time he's playing the part of Lakshman in Ram Leela, and he's telling the boys, that his playmates, okay, you're Ram, you're Hanuman, I'm Lakshman, and giving the things for this, right? Then he says, when Indrajit shoots his arrow at me, then Hanuman, you have to go and bring the Sanjeevani, go and bring that, and make the medicine and cure me. All right. So they're playing the game, and then Indrajit shoots his arrow at Nityananda Prabhu, and Nityananda Prabhu falls to the ground. And he plays the part of Lakshman so perfectly that the children think that he's died. The other children, because there's no breath, there's no anything from him. Like no movement, no anything. Then the children begin crying. Oh, what Nityananda Prabhu, what happened? Is dying. And they called his parents and everyone, all the village people came there. And then one old man who was watching their play, he said, what were you playing that time? He said, we were playing Ram, and he was struck by Indrajit's arrow, and that's when he became unconscious. And okay, then what did he tell you to do? He told that boy that he's Hanuman and he should go and bring the Sanjeevani from the Himalayas and make the medicine. He didn't do that. Then he played that part, he bought the herb, and they made the medicine, and and Nityananda Prabhu woke up. It's like, and everyone, oh, so happy again to see Nityananda Prabhu awake. So
Hanuman is a real bhakt of Rama.
Yeah. Then this is Nityananda Prabhu's play, but his play is Leela of the Lord. Then one day, one sadhu sannyasi came there to their home. And some people say he was Madhavendra Puri, and some people say he was another sannyasi, but in either case, we think he was Madhavendra Puri, but it's not clear, it's not given definitively that it was Madhavendra Puri or not. But anyhow, one sadhu sannyasi came, and he asked Hadai Pandit and Padmavati, give me your son to be my chali, my assistant, while I am traveling the holy places. And they are living in the plane of faith. They cannot refuse a sannyasi. No one will do that today. So sannyasi will knock on your door and say, give me your son, you'll call the police. More or less. But there's no question that they're thinking any bad thing. They're thinking it is our duty, our holy duty. And although it is heartbreaking to us, the most heartbreaking thing to be separated from Nityananda Prabhu, we cannot refuse the holy man his request. And so Nityananda Prabhu was given to that sannyasi and left the home and travelled with him all over India. If it was Madhavendra Puri, well and good. If it wasn't Madhavendra Puri, he served that sadhu sannyasi until his passing, and in some point during that time he met with Madhavendra Puri. It was Madhavendra Puri or he met with Madhavendra Puri and became the disciple of Madhavendra Puri. And finally, after Madhavendra Puri passed away, then Nityananda Prabhu, he went looking for Krishna. And he came to Vrindavan. And when he came to Vrindavan, he's asking the Brajavasis, where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? And they said, oh, Krishna is not here. Krishna is living in Navadvip. Krishna is now in Navadvip. You must go to Navadvip. So Nityananda Prabhu went to Navadvip. He didn't go on the train. He didn't go in a coach or in a car. He walked to Navadvip. It is like 3,000 miles plus from Vrindavan to Navadvip. Anyway, happily he walked there, chanting and dancing the holy name of the Lord. Meanwhile, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he's begun his Sankirtan in Navadvip, showing his, after returning from Gaya, he's showing his devotional aspect, making Sankirtan with the devotees in Srivasangam and so many things. then Mahaprabhu told the devotees one night, "Oh, I had a dream, and in that dream, this great Mahapurush, he came driving a chariot, and that chariot was flying the flag with the palm tree symbol on there. Palm tree is the symbol of Balaram." And he said, somewhere in Navadvip, that Mahabhagavat devotee, he is here. You please all go and try and find him. So all the devotees went all day looking, but they could not find him. They could not find Nityananda Prabhu. And they returned to Mahaprabhu and told, "We looked so much, but we could not find that person you described." And Mahaprabhu laughed and got up and said, "Okay, let's go." And he took all the devotees and they went to the house of Nandanacharya, where Nityananda Prabhu was staying there. And immediately they met. Ostensibly their first meeting, Nityananda Prabhu and Mahaprabhu. And seeing each other, they became mad with love, embracing each other and losing consciousness, fainting on the floor, waking again and seeing that the one another, and again embracing, again losing consciousness. And so, like so many times, and the devotees watching this, they're amazed. And this way, then Nityananda Prabhu says, "I have come, brother, now I have come. Please engage me for your service." This was their first meeting. Then Nityananda Prabhu with the devotees, Mahaprabhu sending them for Sankirtan and for preaching, going here and there. And he's teamed up Nityananda Prabhu with Haridas Thakur. And Haridas Thakur is saying to Nityananda Prabhu, "Oh, you are a young man and I am an old man. I cannot keep up with you. Then you have to slow down a bit," he's telling Nityananda Prabhu, laughing. And they're going here and there, and then finally they came upon Jagai and Madai. Jagai and Madai were two Brahmins, but by their caste, but they had become debauchee. They were drunkards, they were thieves, they were murderers, they were the lowest kind of people. And they had taken possession of this area of Navadvip. And anyone who comes there, they have to, go through them, basically. Like the organized crime bosses, you can say, in that area. Then Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur, they came and said, Nityananda Prabhu said, "Oh, we shall convert these two rogues, and if they will join Mahaprabhu's party, then that will bring much prestige to our Lord, that he could convert such people." And Haridas Thakur said, "Are you mad? Are you crazy? We should give them the widest berth. We'll not go near them." But Nityananda Prabhu is not to be deterred, so he went anywhere, and he said, with the straw between his teeth, he said, "Take the name of the Lord, of Krishna, lead a holy life, and you will be blessed. Accept my Lord Chaitanya Dev like this way." And they said, "Why you have come here, you crazy sadhus? We do not want you here. And we know you're crazy, so you just get gone, and we will not trouble you. But if you do not go, we will give you a good beating, a beating to remember." And this way they chase them. And Nityananda Prabhu running and laughing, and the Haridas Thakur saying, "I'm an old man, I cannot run away like this." Then they came back to Mahaprabhu, reported, and Haridas said, "I cannot go with this crazy man. Every day he's going and all kinds of, making all kinds of reckless behavior, and he will get me killed. I cannot go with." And Mahaprabhu laughed and said, "No, you go again with him." And the next day Nityananda Prabhu said, "Again we will try." And Haridas saying, "Oh, you are mad, and today maybe you will get me killed." Anyway, they went there, and again they approached, and Jagai Madai, they told, "Oh, you sadhus, you've come here again after we warned you. Now we are going to give you a beating to remember." And which one was it, Jagai? Madai. He took a wine pot, clay wine pot, and smashed it at Nityananda Prabhu's head, and blood started coming from Nityananda Prabhu's head. But Nityananda Prabhu not feeling troubled by that. Haridas is feeling much trouble, but Nityananda Prabhu not. Actually, he's feeling, I must do something to save them. But in the meantime, message came to Chaitanya Dev that this had happened. And suddenly Chaitanya Dev appeared there. And he's calling, "Chakra, Chakra, Chakra!" And his Sudarshan Chakra coming. "I will finish you, you struck my Nitai, I will finish you all." And taking his Sudarshan Chakra. But Nityananda Prabhu, clasping his feet, told, "No, my Lord, this is not, you are not Chakradari. You are in this avatar, you are not Chakradari. That is not our mission. We will, not by killing the demon, but by killing the demon, changing the heart of the demon, making them into a devotee." And then he told that Madai was going to strike me a second time, but Jagai stopped him and told, "No, leave him, brother. He's a sadhu, not to strike a sadhu." Then Mahaprabhu's heart changed. Oh, to Jagai, "Oh, you saved my Nitai. You saved him." And then he embraced Jagai, and Jagai became filled with Krishna prema. And seeing that he's filled with ecstasy of the highest kind, Madai say, "Oh, I also want that. What he has, I also want that." And he came to Mahaprabhu, and Mahaprabhu said, "No, I cannot give you. You struck my Nitai, and I cannot give you. But if you go to Nitai, he may give you." And so he fell at the feet of Nityananda Prabhu. Nityananda Prabhu blessed him. And then Madai also got the grace of Chaitanya Dev. And they were converted completely. And everyone was amazed. It's, like the worst kind. It's like if you converted the Cray brothers to become devotees of the Lord or something like that. Some terrible rogues. And they never returned to their previous life. This is maybe a difference, we come to the Lord to surrender to the Lord, and sometimes we go back to our previous habits and our previous behavior and so many things. But they never did that. That's called biting the hand that feeds you. They never did that. They fully embraced that. And where they stayed in Navadvip, that's called Madai Ghat, that place by the Ganges River. And every day they would clean that place and make it suitable for pilgrims and serve the sadhus there. And joined with Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan mission by the grace of Nityananda Prabhu. And so many pastimes of Nityananda Prabhu, holy pastimes. When Mahaprabhu took sannyas, Nityananda Prabhu came. And Mahaprabhu, after taking sannyas, he's mad. He wants to go to Vrindavan. And so Nityananda Prabhu telling, "Yes, this way to Vrindavan." And then he took Mahaprabhu's danda, because he's sannyas. The school is Shankaracharya's school from Keshav Bharati. It is told either Keshav Bharati was a Vaisnava in the Shankara school, or became a Vaisnava after meeting Mahaprabhu. Whichever way it was, when Mahaprabhu took sannyas from him, he said, "Oh, I heard this mantra in a dream. Is this the mantra that you are going to give me?" And he told Keshav Bharati that mantra, sannyas mantra. It was Vaishnava sannyas mantra. Keshav Bharati said, yes, this is the mantra I will give you. So in this way, it's said first Mahaprabhu initiated him, and then he gave sannyas to Mahaprabhu. Anyway, but because his lineage is Shankara's lineage, they are taking Ekadanda, one danda, not Tridanda. Vaisnava sannyasi usually Tridanda. And so when they're going afterwards, sometime afterwards, Nityananda Prabhu took Mahaprabhu's danda and broke it into three and threw it in the river. Mahaprabhu became angry. Oh, I had nothing. I had no possession. Only this danda was my only possession, and this water pot. And my only possession, you broke it and threw it in the river. And what are you? You say you love me, but why are you doing this? Showing anger to Nityananda Prabhu. Nityananda Prabhu said, you cannot fool me, Lord. You do not need any danda. You are the Lord himself. And also, if you do have a danda, it should be tridanda, not ekadanda. Anyway, this way. And finally, by some clever arrangement, they met Advaita Prabhu in Shantipur on a boat, and Advaita Prabhu took Mahaprabhu to his home and fed him there. And Nityananda Prabhu, that more or less you can say Mahaprabhu breaking his fast after taking the sannyas. And Advaita Prabhu, Sita Thakurani, they had arranged prasadam there, and some play between Nityananda Prabhu and Advaita Prabhu. Advaita's feeding Mahaprabhu, and Mahaprabhu saying, I'm a sannyasi, why are you giving so much? As I do not require much, I am a sannyasi. It is not proper. A sannyasi shall take so many things. And then at the same amount, Nityananda Prabhu saying, why are you giving so little? I've been fasting. You want me to continue fasting? Is that it? You don't want to really feed me. And this way, like some play fight between them. And this is going on. And then Nityananda Prabhu took some rice and threw it at Advaita Prabhu. And that rice, where it touched the body of Advaita Prabhu, Advaita became ecstatic and dancing and singing. And Mahaprabhu, very happy to see such joyful pastime of Nityananda Prabhu. And Nityananda Prabhu going with Mahaprabhu everywhere, like a shadow, is told. But everyone knew him as Avadut. In fact, Srila Govinda Maharaj said, the people forgot his name was Nityananda, and they would say, oh, Avadut is coming, and always, oh, the Avadut, he's coming, Avadut is coming. And sometimes he'll come, sometimes dressed very finely, and sometimes he comes naked. He forgot to put any clothes on, he just comes naked. Then some people are just shocked to see that. But Mahaprabhu asked him, you please give me your kopin. Kopin means like loincloth. The sadhu wear loincloth. Then he took that cloth and he tore it into strips, and all the people there he gave to them and said, if you wear this on your arm like a kavacha, you will never feel any desire, mundane desire, lustful desire. If you wear this, it will protect you from that. That's how pure Nityananda Prabhu is. So, this way, Nityananda Prabhu, and many different pastimes of the Lord. And finally when Mahaprabhu went to Puri to stay in the Gambhira, the Radhakanta Mott, house of Kashi Mishra, then he sent Nityananda Prabhu to Bengal. He told Rupa and Sanatan, you go to Vrindavan, and different devotees he sent here and there, but Nityananda Prabhu he sent to Bengal, and he said, the Bengalis are a hard nut to crack. only you can preach to the Bengalis, Nityananda Prabhu. Nityananda Prabhu, it is not clear, again, it is not told if he was a sannyasi or not. But Nityananda is not a sannyas name. Nityananda is a brahmachari name. So when Nityananda Prabhu went to Bengal, Mahaprabhu ordered him, you marry. And Nityananda Prabhu married 2 sisters. They're Janava and Vishuddha. They're the 2 sisters. They are the daughters of, is it Nilambar Chakravarti or I forget now. Anyway, he married those 2. Then one daughter, one wife, Vishuddha, she had a son, and that is Virachandra. But Janava Devi, she had no children. Then with them, he preached in Bengal. And Mahaprabhu told him, you go door to door and with the straw in your between your teeth, you ask everyone, please lead a pure life and take the holy name of Krishna. And Nityananda Prabhu did that, but modified way. He didn't tell people, take the name of Krishna. He told people, take the name of Gauranga. If you take the name of Gauranga, I will be your slave. Accept my Lord Gauranga. Worship Gauranga. Serve Gauranga. Take the name of Gauranga and I will become your slave. And this way he preached. And preached very extensively. And also Virachandra, his son, even more extensively than Mahaprabhu. It is told that Virachandra Prabhu, more his preaching like Narottam Thakur's. Narottam Thakur, he converted the whole state of Manipur to Vaishnavism. Previously to Narottam Thakur, Manipur was Buddhist, but Narottam Thakur, he converted the king, the royal family, to Gaudiya Vaishnavism, and including the royal family, and then all the people also accepted that. And if you go to Manipur, you'll see so many Gaudiya Vaishnavas there, wearing the tilaka. And even in Navadvip, they have their own temple there. And that area of Navadvip, which is near to our mott, it's called Manipur, because the Manipuri devotees, they stay there. Anyway, and I think Bhakti Swarup Damodar from ISKCON, he was from Manipur.
You see a lot of them in Jagannath Puri too.
Oh yeah.
Many of them.
They have a very Oriental
Yes.
look,
Yes.
but because it's close to China, the Manipur is quite close to the China border. And anyway, but Virachandra Prabhu, his preaching like that, converting Buddhists and so many to Vaishnavism, to Mahaprabhu's line. And also, Virachandra Prabhu came to Brahmanpara, the home of Srila Govinda Maharaj's ancestors. Then it was called Brahminpur, but over the time now it has been known as Bamanpara, but originally Brahminpur, because everyone who lived there were Brahmins. And Srila Govinda Maharaj's family, he told us, we do not know what our previous name was, but Virachandra changed our name to Dasadikari. And the deities of Radha and Govinda, which are installed in the temple there, they were given to Srila Govinda Maharaj's forefathers by Virachandra Prabhu himself. So some connection with the family of Srila Govinda Maharaj with Virachandra Prabhu. Anyway, Nityananda Prabhu, we know, so merciful. And
Nityananda Prabhu was Avadhu. He
Avadhu.
used to keep Durga Devi in his...
it is told like that, sometimes told like that. Srila Guru Maharaj, once he was asked by his godbrother, Bhakti Vichar Jajava Maharaj, Jajava Maharaj was the last sannyasi of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, the last disciple to take sannyas from him, and he was a bosom friend of Guru Maharaj. In fact, I could say he was Guru Maharaj's closest friend. And I met him many times. He didn't speak English, but he was very big-hearted Vaisnava. And when he passed away, Guru Maharaj felt that most intensely. And I was staying in the mott at that time, and used to do the night watch. Myself, usually Guru Maharaj would have one Western devotee, if there's a Western devotee there, and one Bengali or Indian devotee. And the night watch means you patrol the mott in the night time, make sure no one trying to break in or, which they sometimes would do. But so that time was when Jajava Maharaj passed away. And when we would go past Guru Maharaj's room, which is up on the, his veranda there, you could hear him lying in the dark. Jajava, Jajava, Jajava. Like all night. Very much felt his separation. Anyway, Jajava Maharaj came to Guru Maharaj and he said, I'm trying to establish one mott in this area, but the community, they will not accept because they are Shaktas and means worshippers of Durga, worshippers of Shiva. Then he said, I cannot convince them. And their leader is one great pundit. And I cannot debate with him. He is too much for me, He is too great a pundit for me. But if you come and debate with him, I think we will be able to establish our temple there. Then Guru Maharaj said, okay, we can try. And Guru Maharaj went with him, and he was invited to that man's house. He was the guru of that area, and Guru Maharaj was invited to the house. Govinda Maharaj was there as the assistant. And then when he came, that man said, we've arranged prasadam for you, and we have offered it to our deity of Vishnu. In our house we have Vishnu, but our main deity is Devi and Mahadev, but we also have Narayan Vishnu. We have prepared pure vegetarian food, and we've offered to Vishnu. You please take that. And Guru Maharaj said, no, we will not take that. And why? And he said, because your idea about Vishnu and our idea is not the same. I will have my man cook, and he will offer to your Vishnu. And that man was Govinda Maharaj. But instead of that man being insulted by that, he was, here is someone with some metal, And he was very happy to allow Govinda Maharaj cook everything. They offered that, and everyone took prasadam. Then the next day, Guru Maharaj is to debate with this man. So the man they came there, and they're sitting, and Guru Maharaj is sitting, and he said, I will make some, proposal, and you must defeat it by scripture and, Siddhanta, like that. Guru Maharaj said, okay. Then that man made his first question. And when he finished his first question, Guru Maharaj went to answer the question. He said, no, when I finished all my questions, then you can reply. And he said that he asked questions for 3 days. Like maybe 100 questions. Srila Govinda Maharaj said, I saw Guru Maharaj, he's counting on his fingers as he's asking the questions. And he said, I can understand. He's putting this question in this department, this question in that department, and so, this way. Then after 3 days, when, we would have forgotten what those questions were. He wasn't allowed to make notes or anything like that. These questions, maybe 100 questions. Then Guru Maharaj said, all right, your first question, you said this. And why it is incorrect? Because this. And he would give some quote from the scripture and some Siddhanta. and defeat every single point. 100 questions, he defeated every single one. And that one of those questions, I asked Govinda Maharaj once, what were those questions? Can you remember? I wanted to know, like, what are the questions? And Gurudev he started to tell me some of the questions. But you know what it's like, right? So when he's halfway through, someone else came in and started talking with Gurudev, and he was distracted. So he never finished telling me those questions, what they were. But one of the questions was, Nityananda Prabhu would carry a murti of Chandi in his bag with him. That means he is a Shakta, not a Vaisnava. He is our man. Can you disprove it? And Guru Maharaj did. But what the reply was, I cannot tell you. I don't know. Sadly, I don't know, because we never got that far. But that Gurudev told me that was one of the questions. But anyhow, after defeating that man, all questions, that man came to Guru Maharaj, to his, like, on his knees with folded hands, and he said, I am the guru of all these people, that I cannot become your disciple, but I give you my sons to be your disciples. And he had two sons who were also Pandits, and they became disciples of Guru Maharaj. And Jajva Maharaj was able to establish his mott there, and it became very popular mott. I don't know where that is, but only the story behind that. But yeah, so Nityananda Prabhu featured very much. When Guru Maharaj came to, after the dissolution of the Gaudiya Mott, you can say, then Guru Maharaj, he decided, I'll go and live alone and just do my bhajan alone and not interact with anyone like this, you know. So first he went to Vrindavan, and then he thought, Vrindavan, that is for the liberated souls. It is better I go to Navadvip. That is for the fallen souls, like me. He's thinking like that. So then his brother, Amar Babu, his oldest brother, but younger than him. Guru Maharaj was the oldest, but the second brother, Amar Babu, he was a superintendent on the railway, and that was a good job in those days, you know, like job for life kind of job in India, you know. Then he gave Guru Maharaj 10 rupees a month, and from that Guru Maharaj rented a small apartment in Navadvip for 3 rupees a month, and 7 rupees he had expenses and so on, and he's staying there. But after some time, when he's staying there, then he like bumped into one of his godbrothers in Navadvip town. Oh, Maharaj, you're here. We've been looking for you. Where have you been? And yes, I am here. Then they made some other devotees came to find Guru Maharaj, and one his godbrother, Sakhi Charan Rai, who we discussed the other day, and he told Guru Maharaj, choose some place and I'll purchase that land for you. You can make your place of bhajan there. So Guru Maharaj thinking, yes, I will do that, but before I do that, I have to take permission of Nityananda Prabhu if I want to live in his Dham. He's the Dhameshwara. Often Guru Maharaj would say that we have, by our nature, we have passport to the spiritual world because we are by nature spiritual, the jiva. He said, but before you can enter there, you have to get visa. Passport's not enough. Just, you know, like if you go to another country, just having a passport's not enough. You have to have the visa too. And he said, Nityananda Prabhu, he's the visa officer. He will decide you get visa or don't get visa. So Guru Maharaj thinking in this way. So he came to Ekachakra Dham and bowed down to Nityananda Prabhu at Nityananda Prabhu's birthplace and praying at the lotus feet of Nityananda Prabhu. You are the Dhameshwara. I want to stay here. You are Patita Pavan. Please give me your grace and allow me to stay in Navadvip Dham, to make my home in Navadvip Dham for the rest of my life. And then Nityananda Prabhu replied to Guru Maharaj, and Nityananda Prabhu told him, you are telling I am Patita Pavan, but you are not Patita Pavan. You are not giving mercy to the Patita, to the fallen. You have so much wealth from your Guru Maharaj, but you are not sharing that with anyone. Then how I will give you my permission to stay in Navadvip? First you will have to help the fallen souls. Then Guru Maharaj said, after getting this inspiration from Nityananda Prabhu, I changed my thinking. And I thought I will make some place, and anyone will come, I will try to help them. As much as possible. And so he did. He made his place in Navadvip at Aparada Bhanjan Pat, that where Navadvip Chaitanya Saraswat Mat, he chose that place as his place of bhajan and made his mot there. And staying there, initially alone. He said, I had one thatched house, small thatched house. I am living in the inside, and in the thatched roof, a cobra living in the thatched roof. And he is not bothering me, I am not bothering him. This way. And then gradually devotees came to join with Guru Maharaj. And but that time also Guru Maharaj not taking disciples. And Guru Maharaj had some reason for that. Because he knows, right, that after Saraswati Thakur, most of his godbrothers, senior godbrothers, disciples of Saraswati Thakur, they're thinking after Saraswati Thakur, you are the Rupanugadara, the line of Saraswati Thakur coming through you. Then Guru Maharaj thought, if I begin taking disciples, they will not. They will bring everyone to me. And his Guru Maharaj thinking, they are all qualified. I want to establish them first. So others, Keshav Maharaj, Madhav Maharaj, Madhusudan Maharaj, so many, Guru Maharaj's godbrothers, Paramahansa Maharaj and so many, he established them and told them, you take disciples, you make up your mot and make a mission like this. And only after they all began taking disciples, then Guru Maharaj decided, anyone will come, I will give initiation to them if they ask me. And maybe not first, but one of the first was Krishna Sharan Prabhu, who later became Aranya Maharaj. And then others, Govinda Maharaj and Haricharan Prabhu and others came. Srila Govinda Maharaj came in 1943. Guru Maharaj established Chaitanya Saraswat Mat at Koledanga. And 1947 Govinda Maharaj joined there. That's another history, of course. But all through that, Guru Maharaj always relying on the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu. And finally, in his last days, maybe the last year or so of his manifest Leela in the world, Guru Maharaj become completely indifferent to the external world. He threw off his Tulsi Mala, threw off his sacred thread. And Guru Maharaj told us, right, that from between the age of 8 and 80, you must follow Vaishnava Sadachar. That means wearing the Tulsi Mala, the Tilaka, and all of those things. That's Sadachar. So before 8, it's not necessary. After 80, not necessary. And Aranya Maharaj, after 80, he's doing so much Sadachar always. That's like he's most strict. And like for example, on the Ekadashi, he's doing Nirjal every Ekadashi. Every Ekadashi. And he begins his fast at sunset the day before Ekadashi. And then fasting till the next day. And also Monobrata. He won't talk to anyone after the sunset, day before Ekadashi. Unless he has to, but generally not speaking with anyone either. And Srila Govinda Maharaj saying to him, Maharaj, it's not necessary for you to do this. And Aranya Maharaj would say, yes, Maharaj, but it is my habit. I cannot leave that, We're thinking, when we say, "Oh, it's my habit," it's usually something bad, isn't it? Bad habit. But that, if your habit is, following the Ekadashi Brata, all these things, that's your habit. That's a very auspicious thing. Anyway, but Guru Maharaj was like that. So, till his last days, Guru Maharaj following the Sadachar and always, wearing his sacred thread, wearing his Kanti Mala. And anyone who knows Guru Maharaj, if he's not speaking with the devotees, he's chanting on his Japamala all the time, day and night, more or less. You see, like if you see his Japamala, they've got his Japamala in the memorial hall. If you look at his Japamala, the Tulsi is black from the oil from his fingers for so many years, like ebony, that black. And every time chanting. But in the last year, maybe a little more than 1 year, he threw off his neck beads, threw off his sacred thread, and sometimes going naked. Already he gave his chair to Govinda Maharaj. Then he told, there's 2 boys looking after him. Then he told them, you just make sure if Govinda Maharaj comes that I've got wearing some cloth. Okay, that's your job, basically. Make sure. And then in the night, he's lying on the bed and he's telling, "Oh Nitai, Dayal Nitai, Nityananda Prabhu," and like in a very mournful way. And his attendants, they're coming to him, bringing his Japamala. Maharaj, take your Japamala, you'll find some relief. You'll get some relief. And Guru Maharaj would say, "No, give the Japamala to Govinda Maharaj. I am only taking shelter of Nityananda Prabhu. He is my only hope. He is my only hope." This was Guru Maharaj's.
Nityananda Prabhu showed everything from Navadvip Dham to Jiva Goswami.
Yes,
He took
that's right.
Jiva Goswami to every place.
Yes.
And show him.
As Navadvip Dham, Mahatmya.
So,
Yeah, Nityananda Prabhu is the foundation. He's the foundation of Krishna consciousness. Without Nityananda Prabhu, there's no Krishna consciousness. In fact, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, who's the author of Chaitanya Charitamrita, he is considering Nityananda Prabhu his guru. And Vrindavan Das Thakur considering Nityananda Prabhu as his guru, substantially there.
is Jiva
like
Goswami last Goswami?
Wow. He's the youngest of the Goswamis, maybe not last Goswami. There are others. They're telling Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he's being called seventh Goswami.
Live. Out of 6 Goswami?
Yeah, he's last of the six, yes. The last to pass, if you like.
Yeah.
But many also Goswamis, other Goswamis, but of those 6, yes.
So Nityananda Prabhu was live till then.
Whether it was physically or whether it was spiritually, he showed that darshan to Nityananda Prabhu. Nityananda Prabhu showed to Jiva Goswami. That is not entirely clear. But in any case, what was I saying? Nityananda Prabhu. I forget. I've lost my train of thought now.
Like the only shelter of Sri Dhamma.
Yes, that was Guru Maharaj's last. You can say he showed us that in his last days, Nityananda Prabhu. Oh yes, Nityananda Prabhu the basis. So yes, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, disciple of Nityananda Prabhu. Vrindavan Das Thakur, disciple of Nityananda Prabhu. But their moods, but different moods. And Krishnadas Kaviraj moved very philosophical and very gentle. And Vrindavan Das Thakur, a little bit aggressive nature, you can say. You find that in Chaitanya Bhagavat. In Chaitanya Bhagavat, Nityananda Prabhu says, who is not a devotee? I mean, say, Vrindavan Thakur says, who is not a devotee of Chaitanya and Nityananda, they cannot touch this book. I make like a curse that they cannot even touch this book. And some heavy statements, he says, in there. What first thing he says, right, is who worships Radha and Krishna, but do not accept the lotus feet of Gaur Nityananda, they do only evil in the world. Think about that. It's a heavy statement, very heavy statement. You think, oh, they worship Radha and Krishna. Well, maybe they don't know about it. Our Gurudev, Srila Govinda Maharaj, he got one day two brahmacharis. They came from South Africa. They're doing preaching in South Africa. Big preaching. Most of our devotees in South Africa, they're from Indian descent. Not many like white devotees in South Africa.
South India.
Yeah, so there are many Indian communities in South Africa. So then they making preaching program, Pandal program, and they're reporting to Srila Govinda Maharaj. Yeah, we have big program, 300-400 people coming every day for our program. Then Gurudev said, what is your preaching matter? What are you telling them? He said, we are telling them about Krishna. We are telling them about Ram. They know who is Krishna there. We are not telling them about Chaitanya Dev because they do not know who is Chaitanya Dev. But Ram and Krishna they know. So we are preaching Ram, we are preaching Krishna. They're very enthusiastic, they're joining with us, so many. And Srila Govinda Maharaj said, I can never support that. He said, we are the devotee of Gaur Nityananda. And if they do not know who is Gaur Nityananda, your job is to teach them who is Gaur Nityananda. Because without Gauranga and Nityananda Prabhu, all of it is all imaginary. And that we read in the song of Lochan Das Thakur. Without the lotus feet of Nityananda Prabhu, worship of Radha and Krishna is just false, imagination.
But in South Africa, there's a white South African and a mixed South African.
Yes.
There's a settler.
Devashis,
Yeah.
can I backtrack for a second about the moods of Krishna's Kaviraj compared to Vrindavan Thakur?
Yeah.
What you have said, yes, he's very aggressive, and he starts out with also kicking someone in the head, that famous thing.
Yeah.
But he's also quite a bit witty, and he's very facetious.
Oh,
and
yeah.
sort of like when there's one little part where he says that the meeting between the Digvijaya Pandit and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and the Digvijaya Pandit gets to speak first about the glories of the Ganga, right?
Yeah.
And he says, and I remember one comment, Vrindavan Das says, Thakur says, he was so erudite and so whatever, scholarly, that no one could understand him. So I think what he means is you speaking gobbledygook.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I don't say that about Vrindavan Das Thakur to lessen him in any way.
No.
Just that his mood is something a little different.
Yeah, well, that
And-
also is different.
And
Krishna's cover.
why? Guru Maharaj explained why. You know, why does he say, who doesn't accept the lotus feet of Gaur Nityananda, then I kick on their face
Yes, that was
with my left foot, he
Yes.
says. With my I'll kick in their face with my left foot.
Yeah.
Then that's like a heavy, especially anyone from Indian culture. First of all, to kick someone in the face is very heavy insult. And then with the left foot, even like more on top of that, you know. Not even with the right foot, but with the left foot. Then Guru Maharaj saying, why is the disciple of Nityananda Prabhu giving such harsh, arrogant, aggressive proclamation? And he said, because it is like this, right? He said, if your son insults somebody, then as the father, you have to make amends for the son. When I'm reminded, my godbrother, he had now that boy is I think, married with his own children and everything. But once upon a time, he was a little boy, as we all were. He's like 10 years old or something, and we're going on the bus. And as we're going on the bus, he's standing on the bus seat, and he's telling the people, the passengers on the bus, stooly, piggy, filthy, carmy, you know, like he's telling, like, insulting them like this, you know. Then his father, my godbrother, he has to say, oh, like people didn't know what he's telling anyway. It was like, please don't take any offense from him. He's like a little boy, don't worry. And in the same way, similar way, Vrindavan Das Thakur is giving insult to those who don't accept the lotus feet of Gaur Nityananda. Like big insult. I'm going to kick you in the face. Then someone will say, how is that Trinada Pisu Nityana? And how is that? Jai Guru Radha Shyam Sundar. Then Guru Maharaj said, he is telling that so that Nityananda Prabhu will have to give his grace to those people. Because he'll say, oh, my devotee made some serious offense to you. What can I do to make recompense for that? I will have to give you Krishna Prema. This is like that. Many of Nityananda Prabhu's devotees, similar like that. Abhiram Thakur, one example, used to carry a leather bullwhip with him. And anyone that was running away, if you like, was not interested in Krishna consciousness, he used to give them a lash of his bullwhip. And when that whip would strike them, they would become filled with Krishna Prema.
Also, Nityananda Prabhu did once to one of the devotees, I forgot the name, kicked him. And his son said, oh.
In the chest.
Yeah. And he said, oh,
Chandrasekhar.
Gauranga. And
Yeah.
oh, you know, Nityananda Prabhu kicked my father.
Oh, yes.
And he goes and complains about it.
Nityananda Prabhu always unconventional in his dealing with the devotees, but always filled with mercy, the most merciful. He is more merciful than Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. Sometimes Chaitanya Dev cannot accept someone for some reason, but Nityananda Prabhu accept him, and Nityananda Prabhu giving his grace to that devotee, and that way he is getting Mahaprabhu's grace. So it's like you can say the double whammy. Mahaprabhu giving one side and Nityananda Prabhu giving the other side. You want it? Yes, here you are. You don't want it? You must have it. Nityananda Prabhu giving like that. Then this is Nityananda Prabhu's grace, his nature, like that, always giving. Then Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Sridhar Maharaj, he was the first person who publicly said that I consider A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj as Shaktya Vaishabhata. He told he is Shaktya Vaishabhata. Otherwise, how he can do what he did? No ordinary man can do that. It is not a mortal thing. It is a divine thing. Then Srila Govinda Maharaj asked him one day, then Shaktya Vaishav who? You know, you're telling Swami Maharaj is Shaktya Vaishabhata, but who's Shaktya Vaish? And without even a second thought, Guru Maharaj replied, of Nityananda Prabhu. He is Shaktya Vaishabhata of Nityananda Prabhu. Then we can understand that with the mood like Nityananda Prabhu, he is coming.
Mr. Rastogi sent his pranami.
Oh, good. He's recovering?
He is recovering.
We are very happy to hear that. We are very happy to hear that.
He can, with walker, he can walk to toilet and he can take bath.
Very good, very good.
Jai.
We have been thinking and praying about
Yes,
him.
It is a hard time for him.
Yes. We will be happy to see him again, as I'm sure you will.
Not very far, March.
Yeah. Okay, good.
So Srila Sridhar Maharaj said that.
Yes. Without a second thought. Shaktivesha of Nityananda Prabhu, he told. Who else can do that service? Only Nityananda Prabhu can do that. This is Guru Maharaj's considered opinion. Make of it what you will. But so this way we are always considering Nityananda Prabhu the foundation of our mission, the foundation of the Krishna consciousness movement all over the world is the grace of Nityananda Prabhu. Because what is, you can say, what is Krishna consciousness? I often think, what is Krishna consciousness? Krishna consciousness is religion for people who aren't very interested in religion. At least I can say in my own case, I'm not really interested in religion. I find it boring and dry, stale. But what Mahaprabhu came to give through his devotees, what Nityananda Prabhu came to give, that is exciting, life-giving. It is more than religion.
Let me ask, how would you define religion?
Well, when I say religion, I'm thinking, you know, like, I grew up as a Christian, right? And it was just so monotonous. Go to church and, hallelujah, hallelujah. You know, really, I mean, you know, there's nothing. They try to make it more exciting.
I think that's the Protestant church.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's right. But they try and make it more exciting. They bring in a youthful pastor with his guitar. Danced in the morning when the world was begun. And, you know, this way they try and make it. But then, you know, there's nothing very deep there. Nothing very deep. And I don't mean to belittle those who have faith in Lord Jesus. It's a wonderful thing, a great thing. But that kind of religion didn't interest me, really. And I dabbled with Buddhism for some time. Oh, how dry is that? then that actually, in the end, I became afraid of that Buddhism, because nirvana means like total extinction of the self. That's what nirvana actually means. And that's a very frightening thing, a frightening prospect. I like the idea of the Buddhist monk, all peaceful and, you know, all serenity and all of those things, like that. But the ultimate goal, extinction of your own self, full extinction of your own self. Not even merging with anything, just extinction, no existence, sunyavad.
Anatma.
Yeah.
No self.
No self. Then that, if you think about it deeply, is a terrifying thing. Who wants that? Everybody's struggling for existence, isn't it? So, you know, then that's what I mean. You know, that religion is a kind of a dry thing. And, you know, rituals and all of those things, they never really appealed to me. But what Mahaprabhu has come to give, prema dharma, love. No one can say that they don't want love. And Mahaprabhu has come to give that. Love, the highest love. And not, you know, the love of this world, of man and woman in this world. When I was giving a lecture once in our ashram in Socal, we have a lot of, you know, hippie types come to visit there. It's like just near Santa Cruz, there's lots of, you know, like people who live for surfing and, you know, surfer dudes and all the rest of it. So sometimes they come there to the ashram, and this man, when I'm giving the lecture, he stood up and he said, no one can understand the love of Radha and Krishna unless they know the love of a man and a woman. And I said, sir, I'm really sorry, but that the opposite is true. That idea of love between men and women in this world is completely the opposite of spiritual love. And if you mistake one for the other, you are in deep trouble. Deep trouble. It's not that at all. Then, what?
Sorry,
Yeah.
Chaitanya used to say, give an example. If, talking about if liberation or moksha, you know, for Buddhists or people similar, were the goal, was in fact, a fulfilling goal,
Yeah.
you can imagine that in the material world, everybody is in debt.
Yeah.
We're in debt to our parents, we're in debt, literally
Yes.
to banks and
Yeah.
so on, we're indebted to the demigods. Otherwise, we couldn't do anything. Everything
Right.
we do is owed
Incurs
to
the
somebody.
debt, yeah.
So we are in a negative balance right now, if you think of it from a accounting point
Yeah.
of view. And if you embrace these sort of philosophies that we've been discussing, you end up at zero.
Yeah.
Now the thing is, zero means poverty.
Right. Yes.
So there should be something positive.
Exactly.
So this is aiming at, like what you've
Yes.
been saying about Gaur Nitai,
Yeah.
is aiming at the positive. It's active.
That's called running to stand still, isn't
Yes,
it? Running to
exactly,
stand
yes,
still.
that's a good way of-
Everyone is endeavoring for that in this material
Yes,
world.
yes.
But Guru Maharaj says in his introduction to Prapanajivanamritam, which actually he spoke that for us to make as the introduction to the book. He dictated that. And it's a fantastic article. In itself, it's a fantastic article. Just that, the introduction of Prapanajivanamritam. And there he says, if our goal is immortality, I'm paraphrasing, not exactly word for word, but he says, if our goal is immortality, in which way are the immortal immortal? Immortality doesn't just mean mere deathlessness. What is the positive engagement in immortality? So, Prapanajivanamrita means the positive and progressive immortality. What is the engagement of somebody who's liberated? How are they liberated? And what do they do in that liberated stage? This is not just like vibrating in the mass of consciousness, in the one. No, beyond that there is some positive engagement. And that's, Guru Maharaj says, a conception that's worth living for. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for something that's worth living for. Not just to escape from the negative, but to actually enter within the positive conception, the positive life. And the positive life is a life of love with Krishna. But that in itself is almost impossible for the jiva to attain that. You know, Guru Maharaj says, Lord Brahma saying, I don't have that. Lord Shiva saying, I'm searching after that. You know, the Vedas personified, they're saying, apologizing to Krishna, what we're meant to be giving you to the people, we couldn't do it. Now we see who you actually are. We couldn't do that. Then Guru Maharaj said, then what we're attempting, is it just a fun? Is it just a game? He says, then actually what we're attempting to attain is almost impossible. Then Guru Maharaj, then somebody said, this was the culmination of like a 2-hour talk by Guru Maharaj. And the tenor of the talk was, what we're aiming for, no one's got it, basically, and no one can get it. Shiva, Brahma, the Vedas personify, all of these, they're saying we don't have it. Then who are we compared to them? Then Guru Maharaj saying, are we crazy? That we're going after something that's like more or less impossible? And then when he finished his talk, or come to a pause in the talk near the end, and everyone was just sitting there, and we were all thinking, I'm sure we were all thinking the same thing. And I was just thinking, the earth might as well open up now and just swallow me, because I'm completely lost any kind of enthusiasm for life, even. Then out of all of us, Bhakti Sudhir Goswami Maharaj, he had the courage to say to Guru Maharaj what we were all thinking. And he said, all right, Maharaj, if what we're aiming for is almost impossible to attain, then why are we even bothering? Why are we even bothering? And Guru Maharaj, he laughed and he said, we're not atheists. We're not atheists. That if we think we don't get it in our grasp, in one lifetime, that, it's not worth endeavoring for. And he said, and anyway, why worry about the goal, the end, when the process is so much fun? And really, that's the truth, right? Krishna consciousness, it's a wonderful thing. Where, you know, you get, with all of our faults, the most wonderful people in the world are the devotees of Krishna. That after 40 years of trying to practice Krishna consciousness, that's my conclusion. There are no more wonderful people in the world than the devotees of Krishna. Krishna loving people. That's who I want to be associated with. And what's more wonderful than Krishna Kirtan? Coming together and chanting the holy names of the Lord. That in itself is ecstatic. You don't even need to understand the words or anything. In itself, it's ecstatic. Taking Krishna Prasadam, you will not get that anywhere in the world. You can go to the top class restaurant, the most expensive restaurant in the world. After you've had Krishna Prasadam, you'll be disappointed. Even if it's, like a first class vegetarian restaurant or whatever, you'll be disappointed after you've had Krishna's Prasadam. You won't find it to be relishable after. It spoils you for that. And hearing Harikatha, hearing about the glories of Krishna, it's wonderful. Forget, Lord of the Rings or, the Avengers or, whatever it is that people find their satisfaction in. Thank you.
Besides, ultimately, they're all derived from
indeed,
from our ultimate conception.
But that means that because people want that, right? They want something. They want heroism. They want supernatural things. They want excitement. They want romance. They want all these things. All of that is in abundance in Krishna consciousness, more than you could ever imagine. Everything that your heart hankers for, you'll find it in Krishna consciousness. You won't find it anywhere else. You won't find it in general religion, whatever that is. Hindu religion, Muslim religion, Christian religion, Jewish religion. You won't find that fulfillment. You'll only find fulfillment in Jaiva Dharma. Sometimes some people describe Krishna consciousness as Sanatan Dharma, right? The eternal religion. But we like the phrase Jaiva Dharma, because Jaiva Dharma means the religion of the soul. You don't have to be born a Hindu to practice it. None of those things matter. The Jaiva Dharma is for everyone. It is the necessity of everyone. It is the food of everyone. And why did I say that? Guru Maharaj said, that we know, right, Krishna, he's Satchidananda Vigraha. That is told in Brahma Samhita. Ishvara Parama Krishna, Satchidananda Vigraha, Anadi Radha Govinda, Sarva Karana Karanam. First verse of Brahma Samhita. There. But it is also told that Jiva is also Satchidananda. All right. But maybe we question that. Okay, Sat means eternal, means, ever existing. With that, okay, we can agree with that. Yes, we are ever existing. We are Sat. Chit means we're conscious. I think, therefore I am. We're conscious of our own existence. And but Anandam, where is Anandam? Are you getting Anandam? Is anyone feeling Anandam?
Everybody is getting Anand.
No, everyone is.
Because we are the part of the Anand.
We want Anandam, but we are not getting Anandam. And that is, so Guru Maharaj says that to exist and to be conscious of your existence is not enough. Your consciousness, your very self, needs its own food. And the food of consciousness is Anandam. That is the food of consciousness. And how do we get Anandam? Anandam is from the source of Anandam, Krishna.
Remember him.
Yes, by connecting with him, then Anandam comes to you. It is not available anywhere else. It's not available anywhere else. Only through Krishna. Only because he is Satchidananda Vigraha, Akila Rasamrita Murti. That is Krishna. And as Guru Maharaj says, everyone is searching after rasa. Rasa means like ecstasy. Rasa means many things, right? Rasa means all kinds of things. The word rasa. Rasa can mean that, the gravy in your sabji is called rasa, isn't it? That's one kind of rasa. But what it means, in essence, means the juice of life, the essence of life, the nectar, the elixir, the very thing that we crave. Ananda. Rasa means ananda. Then rasa is only available from Rasaraj. Akila Rasamrita Murti. He's the reservoir, the emporium of rasa. Only by connecting with him can you taste that rasa. Can you taste ananda? Can you taste ecstasy? Because we say everyone wants to be happy. But Srila Govinda Maharaj, he used to say, how can you be happy if you neglect happiness himself? Happiness isn't a state of being. Happiness is a person. And that person is Krishna. He is happiness. He is happiness himself. The very root, the very epitome of happiness is Krishna. All ecstasy, all joy, all everything, all fulfillment comes from him. He is the source of that. Only by connecting with him are we able to tap into that, if you like. And the whole cause of our problem, of our unhappiness, of our suffering in this material world is that we turned our back on him. Srila Prabhupada used to say, when the sun shines, there's no darkness. But as soon as you turn your back to the sun, you cast a shadow. You're the cause of that. It's not the sun's fault. You made the shadow by standing with your back to the sun. So when we turn our back on Krishna, that's the cause of suffering in this material world, or any world. The cause of suffering is when we turn our back on Krishna. So we should turn and bathe in the light of the sun. And he is waiting for us to do that. He's always available for us. It's not that you will turn to him and he'll say, I'm too busy for you. No, don't have the time for you. No, he's always available for everyone. It's our birthright. But how do we make... Srila Govinda Maharaj used to say that you have to make yourself a fit receiver for that. So like there are so many radio stations now here going in the ether. But you have to have a radio receiver to tune into one of those. So similarly, that spiritual current is flowing all around us. And all we need to do is make ourselves a proper receiver of that. If we make ourselves a proper receiver, that will come to us. Naturally, it'll flow into us. And what is the process for that? Trinadapi sunichena tororiva suhishnana amanina manadena kirtaniya shadahari. We have to practice humility, tolerance, giving honor to others, not expecting any honor or respect for ourselves. And this way we can chant the name of the Lord. Without those qualifications, your chanting is useless. Guru Maharaj said, firing blanks. You got the gun, but there's no actual live ammunition. You're just firing blanks. What gives its spiritual currency is how it's connected with the source. And we connect with the source by practicing humility, tolerance, and giving honor to others. It's not mundane. Mahaprabhu's own teaching. We have to practice it. It may be contrary to our nature, but we have to practice it. And pray to the Lord for mercy. And the reservoir of all mercy, that is Lord Nityananda Prabhu. If we can attain his mercy, then everything is God. Nityananda Prabhu. There is no greater benefactor than Nityananda Prabhu. If you can invoke his grace, you've got, automatically you get Krishna. Automatically, you don't need any separate endeavor. If you absorb yourself in the pastimes of Gaur Nityananda, if you make yourself a receiver of the grace of Gaur Nityananda, automatically Radha and Krishna will become accessible to you. But without Gaur Nityananda, that is just imaginary.
But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's avatar is a hidden avatar.
It is hidden
So
avatar, yes.
everyone doesn't know.
No, then our mission is to make everybody know.
Yes.
Because it is true, he's
Everybody knows.
Chana avatar, that means hidden avatar, but that's so that otherwise he will not be able to practice happily Nama Sankirtan. Because everyone will think, oh, he is Krishna, and so too much awe and reverence. And that will be a bar. Too much Aishwarya is a bar to that type of loving devotion. So he has hidden his avatar. But the devotees know that. Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes in Sri Chaitanya's Life and Precepts, that first book that was written in English by the Thakur, you can say, distributed widely around the world. There he says, if you just think of Chaitanya Dev as a great saint, we're happy with that. But we identify him with Krishna himself. We consider him to be Krishna himself. But if you cannot stretch that far, at least if you can honor the fact that he was a great saint and a great reformer, we're happy with that. So this way, we need to broadcast the glories of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and the main leader of that broadcasting group, that's Nityananda Prabhu. So we want to sign up under his direction. How he will spread Krishna consciousness all over the world through his devotees, let us connect with that. And everything else is secondary to that. Doesn't matter, and nothing else matters in this world, because we are here, right? We're here. Nothing we can do about that. One of my friends, he was actually listening to the talk earlier on, and he's saying, oh, you should tell the devotees in Ukraine, Poland are giving shelter there if there's going to be a war with Russia and all that, you know. And it's true, we are concerned about the devotees there, because they're trying to conscript our devotees. The Ukrainian government are trying to conscript our devotees there to fight against the Russians. And the Russian government are trying to conscript our devotees in Russia to go and fight against the Ukrainians. Our devotees, the devotees of the Russian mission and the Ukraine, they're the same devotees. They'll be fighting brothers and sisters against each other. Then Avadut Maharaj is squirreling them away so that they won't, because they have to serve the papers, the draft papers, in person. They can't just post it through your door. So if they cannot serve it on them, they can avoid it. So he's making arrangement like that. But of course, naturally, if your country is going to be at war, there will some fear will be there for your family, for your friends, everything. I have many friends also, both in Russia and Ukraine, devotees. But what can we do other than take shelter of the holy name of the Lord? Really, what can we do? If death is coming for us in the form of a bullet or a bomb or a coronavirus or whatever it may be, you can't avoid it. You can run anywhere, but you can't avoid that. And if Krishna wants to protect you, you can walk onto the battlefield. Nothing can hurt you. But we have to take shelter of Krishna and Krishna's holy name. We take shelter at the lotus feet of Nityananda Prabhu, we will be safe. There are much worse things than death. And to die without Krishna consciousness is the worst thing. But life or death, if you are Krishna conscious, is the same. It's okay. For those who are Krishna conscious, when a bullet comes or the bomb comes, they'd see, oh, Krishna is here to take me home. They're not afraid of that. I will not say that we are not afraid of death, but we shall try to see that way. Whatever is Krishna's will, we can't not accept. We can't say no. You know, when the Grim Reaper's at your door, you can't say no, call back later and close. It doesn't work like that, you know.
Krishna can make it slightly lighter for you.
Well, lighter or whatever it may be,
He give you a chance.
for the devotee, it's just a step
Yes.
over from here to Krishna Loka or to Krishna's service somewhere else. Well, what do we know? We do not know. But we are not afraid for that. We should not be afraid. Guru Maharaj says that if you think you are going to die, that's animal consciousness. That only the animals think like that. Those who are in knowledge, they do not fear death because death is inevitable for everyone. But we know we will not die. The body may die, but we will not die. Then we not be afraid. That is called mritya buddhi. That means that animal consciousness thinking I'm going to die. But we are immortal. The soul is immortal. And we want to live in the plane of immortality. And that's only possible by connecting with Krishna. Because that's the plane of Krishna. The plane of Krishna is the immortal plane. You cannot enter there unless you are fully surrendered to Krishna. And how do we become surrendered to Krishna? By the grace of the Vaisnava. And who is the leader of the Vaisnavas? Nityananda Prabhu. Then if we surrender to him, he will direct us this way, you come this way. And we will be safe under his lotus feet. He will place his lotus feet on our head, we will be more than safe. We are already there. So we are thinking about his lotus feet today. We are trying to remember him as best as we can. We want his mercy, we want his grace, and we want the association of his devotees. And Mahaprabhu's line, the line of Rupa Goswami, that is Nityananda Prabhu's line, the mission of Gaur Nityananda Prabhu. Then somehow or another we've become connected with that. And that is our great fortune. And Nityananda Prabhu, Guru Maharaj say, only we thank our lucky stars that we have such connection in our life. We should thank our lucky stars. And we thank our lucky stars for that. Otherwise, only sometimes we don't understand the fortune that we have. What fortune we have, we don't understand that. If we did, we wouldn't waste a single moment. So by the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu, let us try to understand what is that unfathomable grace, what is that unfathomable fortune, and let's not waste it. I was listening just recently to a talk of Srila Prabhupada A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj. So earnestly he's saying, we've had so many lifetimes, and in those lifetimes we've tried to make something for ourselves. But like how's that worked out for you all, you know? And he said, my prayer to you all is, please, just give this one life for Krishna. Just this one. What have you got to lose? Try and give this one life for Krishna. Then we want that. We want to try to give our life to Krishna. But we will only be able to do that by the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu. Otherwise, Maya is too difficult. The world is too overwhelming. Everything, every aspect of this world overwhelms us. But by the grace of Nityananda Prabhu, all of that becomes insignificant. So let us try to take advantage of his grace, and particularly Today, on his appearance day, we think that he will be merciful to us. We expect that he will be merciful to us, if we can be so audacious. We want that, we expect that. We are beggars for that. So today we'll finish our talk here.
They say that Krishna can make it lighter for you, but you have to go through your karma a little bit.
Yes.
And he'll make it lighter.
That is another thing, of course. Jai Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Rakak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Ki Jai. Jai Sri Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai. Nityananda Trayodashi Abhirbhav Mahotsav Ki Jai. Jai Padmavati Devi Hadai Pandit Prabhu Ki Jai. Jai Sri Chaitanya Dev Ki Jai. Jai Vaisnava Sevan Kari Brinda Ki Jai. Harinama Sankirtan Ki Jai. Nitai Gaura Premanande.